Hi, so first I just want to make this clear. I'll be speaking in a low voice this video, like a low tone, because I don't want to wake anyone up because it's like 1 a.m. right now. So yeah, that's a quick preface. I might up the volume in editing software, but I'm not sure. Anyways, so currently, this is I think maybe episode 6 or 7 of this series. This series was initially meant to be a series where I talk about how I plan on making a total of $20,000 in revenue by the end of the year. Obviously didn't work out. I haven't made a single dollar, so yeah, pretty much a failure, but I'll explain why, talk about this year, how it's been, and yeah, that's simply it, how the company's been going this year. And just talk about a few things. Just honestly thought about it for a quick minute. I was just thinking about everything about this year while walking around for the past like 15 minutes. I was like, let me record it and make a video about this and do stuff like that. And I thought about why would I do that, There's no reason for me to keep doing this YouTube thing. It's not because I don't want to. In the future I plan on coming back to YouTube and doing it seriously, like to actually get like views and stuff and build a fan base and audience. But like build an audience for to further expand businesses and stuff like that. But at the current moment it's not my priority at all. And these videos, having them in as filler videos, won't really help my channel in any way, so it's not really a productive task by any means. But I just feel like it would be kind of cool to just have this kind of full documentation of my life, and I just look back at it in like 2 years time and realize how much of a retard I was and how stupid I was and all the decisions I made and how bad they were. So yeah, that's pretty much why I'm doing this. There could be other reasons which I don't know about, like underlying reasons, doesn't matter. So yeah, let's reflect on this year for now. So currently, let's talk about actually for the past few years. So I'd say I've been on this like kind of like journey, like this like whole path thing for the past 2.5 years. For the first year, it was honestly incredibly gay. So it's just be me acting like I'm improving myself, and I'd just be wasting my time most of the time. And it just really, not the first year, the first maybe 6 months, it would just be that. And then after that, yeah, it was the first 6 months. And then after that, I started this YouTube channel, and I actually got quite a bit busy with it because I was like editing it, and I was trying to do like actual good editing and stuff, and it took a lot of time to make these like weird animations. It wasn't the end of waste of my time, honestly, but it taught me discipline. It was like kind of cool for a year, but again, now I look back at it and I just think kind of gay, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm probably gonna think the same thing in a year about what I'm currently doing now. So it's not really that big of a deal, but yeah, just how I currently look at myself. And I also like sometimes watch back some of my old videos, just realize how some of the things I said are just outright wrong. And so that's why I think probably even in 5 years time when I make videos and I do things like this, if I am still doing this, obviously, if I'm still alive, and if I am alive, if I am doing YouTube, obviously, I think that maybe in 5 years time I'll look back at the videos, which will be in 7 years, like in 7 years time, I'll look back at the videos about in 5 years time, and I still think they're like idiotic. Even if I have a lot of money, I talk about making money, there's always going to be something where you're going to look back and be like, yeah, I was just stupid. And you improve, you mature. That's probably why you shouldn't really listen to my opinion in any way. This is just my opinions, and so you should just take them with a grain of salt if you'd like. Now, anyways, then around 9 months ago, maybe, I think in March, maybe, I started this like marketing company. And at the start, for the first 2 months, it was very unserious. It's like I still dedicated a lot of time to it, but during that time I was still doing YouTube like on the side. I think like consistently. I'm not sure, honestly, but I think I was doing it like for the first month on the side, where I just still be doing YouTube and put in all the editing efforts and stuff like that. And I actually have my lovely cousin who's helping me out with YouTube editing and stuff, so that helped me out to be able to focus more time on my company. But still, in the end, those 2 months at the start, they weren't fully dedicated. I was niche hopping, like to which niche should I be service marketing, and then I decided on something after 2 or 3 months. And plus, I had lots of things to set up, like a website to build, and like lots of things to set up. And then from there, let's say around May, it was around the time I started getting a bit serious, where I had finished off all the preliminary things. I just had to start focusing all my time on outreach, cold calling. And for cold emails, I just have an automatic thing to send out, so I never really focused on them, just been something automatically sent out. And yeah, I just have to focus on cold calling. But that time, there were a few things, and pretty much basically, I try my best to focus as much as I can on cold calling. And honestly, those 3 months, because I had actually, even though there were things going on, it was kind of a way where I had a lot of, not free time, but at the time which was free, I could very well spend it on cold calling at that time. So I think for like months of May, June and July, I was cold calling quite a bit. And honestly, I was, even though I'd like to say I was good at it, like I thought I was good at it at the time. Right now, I listen back to some of my cold calls, I just think I'm absolute shit, honestly. And nowadays, I actually quite like how I cold call, but in 6 months, I might think I'm absolute shit now, so I'm not sure. But I think I'm quite good at it now, honestly. And like I've refined my like cold calling scripts very much over the years, over the few months which I've worked on it, so it's really become quite good now. Anyways, so at that time I did that for a lot, and quite frankly during that time, even though I cold called a lot, it was for a very long period of time, since I wasn't the best at it, I was still new, and I didn't know exactly what needed to be said and what I had to say. My scripts weren't perfect. I copied lots of them from YouTube videos and stuff like that. It was a bit tough on those 3 months. I only got a few Zoom meetings, like very few, over 3 months, very few. But I got lucky with one of them and I managed to close a client near the end of July, I believe. And then from there till near the end of August, I had to service this client. And during that time, I was basically doing this like free retainer thing, but they don't have to pay me. And so this is just for the first month. That way I can get like guarantees, results, and then he'd want to work with me more. And then lots of people want to work with me because I have actual results to prove it. So I had just been focused on my first client, but then sadly I couldn't get the results. And during that month, since I didn't do more cold calling, like the actual ad delivery takes much less time than you'd expect in doing the ads. And so that month I was quite free, and yeah, it set me back quite a bit because during that month I chilled a lot. And so after that month, when I needed to get back to cold calling, it was a bit of a rough start. It took me until like maybe mid-September to be able to get back to like a consistent schedule and cold calling and stuff like that. And then when I did get back, I had this like entry exam for universities, and then I had to like do this whole university thing, and it took a lot of time out of my days and stuff. And so yeah, but I still managed to like do a bit of cold calling, get a few Zoom meetings. And from September all the way to like mid-September to mid-October, like for that month, I still managed to get quite a bit of cold calling, on like a decent amount. But yeah, I was busy lots of the times as well, and I got quite a few Zoom meetings, but just none of them converted. But I didn't do much cold calling that time, but I got quite a few Zoom meetings, but none of them converted. And then starting October, when I got into university, there was a week when I couldn't really do anything. I was still adapting to my new schedule. And then from there, from like mid-October late October, till now, till like late December, for 2 months I was like heavy cold calling, like very heavy. And I got quite a lot of Zoom meetings, and there was also this like 2 week period where I went so hard, and like there was a time when I got like 3 Zoom meetings in 4 days. And if you don't cold call, you might not know how crazy this is for someone who doesn't have any results. And yeah, it's like a random startup company to get through 3 Zoom meetings in 4 days. That was insane. And so yeah, like I got quite a lot of Zoom meetings during these 2 months, but none of them converted. Just that simple, none of them converted. And so yeah, late December came around, and I couldn't do any more cold calling because there was a Friday and then Saturday, Sunday, and then after Saturday, Sunday, there's going to be a Christmas holidays for the week, and then after that it's going to be like New Year's. So until the 2nd of January, I practically can't do any cold calling. And so that was pretty much it. So currently I'm actually in the negatives because I was had to pay for a cold calling software, website hosting, stuff like that. So I lost quite a bit of money over these 9 months of running this company. I lost quite a lot of money because obviously I have like expenses to keep paying and I haven't made any money. So yeah, honestly at this point it's just pretty much like a child's little company which does nothing. It's really practically an idiotic idea at this point for most people's perspective, and I would completely understand that's not like, I would probably, like, if I was just didn't know about any of this kind of like thing in this life, I would probably judge people in the same way. If someone told me, oh, like, I've been running a company for 9 months, oh, how much money have you made? None. I've actually lost a lot of money. Yeah, I think they're idiots, and completely makes sense, honestly. That's why currently at the moment, just don't share this shit with anyone. It's much easier, and plus it's not really in my interest right now. About people in relationships and stuff like that and friendships, I'm actually going to talk about it, and now I'm going to touch on this topic. And honestly, I think this is one of, like, honestly, it feels kind of like a superpower, which is my control over the energy I have and plus I also have hyper energy. So anyone who knew me as a kid knows that I've always been incredibly energetic. Like, I've always been full of energy. Like, I was always one of the most energetic people around, and so I have very large reserve energy even to this day. And so even though I'm actually going to talk about sleep now because it's something which is crazy, honestly. But before I do talk about it, the thing I want to say is that even though, what was I going to say? Yeah, even though I don't sleep at all, the sleep barely I talk about now, I still have a very large energy reserve when I wake up. Now, if I did sleep well, obviously the energy reserve would be much higher and I'd have much more energy. But alhamdulillah, since I have a very large amount of energy already, even when I sleep less and my energy is a bit less, it's still very high compared to most people. And the thing is also, I have lots of energy expenditure because of all the things which I do. It takes up way too much energy, and so it's the thing I like is I pretty much feel like I have perfect control over my energy and how I distribute it. Like, for example, during university, I just don't want to interact with anyone, talk to anyone, which is kind of crazy, which is, I think, stupid. Obviously you need to make connections, but I just pretty much my schedule is 8:30 to 11:30, and that's it. There's no even breaks in between. So I just get on the bus, get to university at 8:30, well, that's actually 9 now, till 11:40, I think. Yeah, because of the whole winter timing. But anyways, pretty much I get to university, I go through 3 lectures, don't talk to anyone, just go lecture to lecture to lecture. Then I just take the bus, get back home, that's it. And so yeah, I also have to use a lot of energy at home. For certain reasons I have to be much more energetic and excited, and then I have to put a lot of energy into my business and my company and thinking and stuff like that. And then plus, since I stay up late a lot, it just, energy is always being spent, so I think I have perfect control over that. So right now, when I tell you about my whole sleep situation, I think no way is this actually possible for humans. And because I just genuinely, this is probably one of the best qualities about me, which is how good I can manage my energy. And then we get to the sleep thing, which is honestly not that crazy, and let me explain it. So basically, at the start, when I started 2.5 years ago, and I was pretty much, I think I was self-improving, I was doing practically nothing. And then when I started my YouTube channel for the first 6 months, even though it seemed like I was doing something with my life now, I was still wasting a lot of time. And then from there, things got really serious, even with the YouTube channel. The last few months of the YouTube channel, maybe 6 to 9 months, they got very serious. I actually worked very hard, and I used to spend lots of time. So basically, pretty much during those first months before getting serious with YouTube, I used to be a big advocate of sleeping 8 hours and getting full sleep and stuff like that. And also, I still am. I still think that you should get your full sleep if you can. There's no reason for you to waste this whole sleeping time if you don't need to. I will need to technically. I can't go to sleep and not work. Just that I can't live without it anymore. Honestly, I'll explain it now. But yeah, I kind of need to at this point. It's kind of an addiction but I'll talk about it in a bit. And then from there, I started sleeping 6 hours. When I started getting serious with YouTube, it would be, I think, from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. every day. I still like to have this whole sleep early, wake up early kind of motto. And also during that time, I used to record early in the day. When I wake up around 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I'd be recording YouTube videos. That's kind of how I used to do it for some time. But anyways, yes, I got serious with YouTube. I started sleeping 6 hours a day. And then from there, after I started this company, I went back to 7 hours for the first month or two. And then since maybe I'd say May, I'd been sleeping on average 4 hours a day since May. And some days, but those times it was much more frequent, but there would be days which would come where I'd sleep 7-8 hours, and they'd come much more often. And then for the past few months now, even last months, I want to sleep 4 hours pretty much on average every day. Some days I'd sleep 3, some days I wouldn't. It would be usually around one day a week I wouldn't sleep at all. One day I'd sleep 6 to 7 hours. Maybe one day a month I'd sleep 8 hours, and then the remaining days I'd sleep 4 or 5 hours sometimes. So that's usually how it would go. That's around the average balance, and that's how it was for some time, and I was honestly surviving quite fine. But currently, due to the fact that for the past maybe week, a bit longer maybe, I haven't been had any work to do. You might think that during this time I'd sleep more, but honestly I've become so obsessed and so addicted to this feeling of having something to do, even though it might seem stupid to most, I agree, and I still stand by that. But yeah, I kind of have become addicted to this nowadays, since I really don't have much work for this past week, because there's really nothing to do for my company except to just outreach and cold call. There are a few things I'm setting up, but it's pretty much like very little time consumption. I have been studying for my finals, which are during like early to mid-January. So for like for university, I usually don't need to study. I still don't, but I'm just studying now because I don't want to study at all when it comes like as soon as I can start cold calling, because I don't want to study at all. I want this to be enough, so I don't have to do that. But still, honestly, I just haven't been doing that much because I just don't need to study much, quite frankly. So I just have a lot of time, and you think that, oh, I take this advantage, take this time to sleep more, but honestly, it's become so fucking crazy. So for the past maybe 2 months, I've been working on like a shit ton of different skills, and then for this week, I've literally kind of like gotten like just spent all my time on getting better at these skills. But pretty much it's still wasted time in my opinion. But there's nothing really much I can do, and so to come like 2-3 a.m. It's currently 1 a.m. but it usually become like 2-3 a.m. and I just be like, I'm tired, I have university tomorrow, I'm planning to wake up at 6 for university, so I need to go to bed. But like I genuinely feel such a bum for going to bed without doing anything, but I have nothing to do, so I literally force myself to stay up and I do nothing. And I tell you about the things, some things which I do. Like, for example, there's this series which I've been reading. I realized that I haven't read fiction in quite like very long time. I read non-fiction for some time, haven't read fiction, so I have found the series which I had quite a nice series, honestly. So I've been reading that. I actually reached this book now, but it's pretty much like, it's honestly a very gay series. It's not just a weird series, but yeah, this is the series I've been reading, fiction. Also, like this during the time I started learning skills, I learned how to solve this like a Rubik's cube in like a few minutes. Honestly, in just this week I've learned how to solve it in under a minute now, plus a lot of different things which I won't talk about now. But pretty much, yeah, I've just been doing random shit, and it become like 2-3 a.m. and I have literally nothing left to do, and I'm just gonna stay up and just keep reading and do some random, like the most random shit ever, because I just feel like such a bum for falling asleep. And then like nowadays, for the past maybe 2 weeks, not even like, it's been like this since a bit before this freeing thing, but now it's become even more intense. Well, I've pretty much been like not sleeping for 3 days a week, which I'll tell you why you might think it's insane. I'll tell you how I can actually survive, because even with all of my energy reserves, I can't survive like that. No one can survive by not sleeping for 3 days a week. So I'll explain it now, but yeah, it's been like me not sleeping 3 days a week. I'm going to start maintaining this even after I get back to work. So honestly, I guess I can maintain it, and it's quite easy for me to maintain. I'll explain why now. And for the remaining 4 days, this is going to make me sound so insane, but pretty much, because I feel like such a bum if I go to bed. But if I don't go to bed, then like I can't not sleep for 7 days a week. It's physically impossible. So I just literally sometimes, like maybe half of those days, I stick my pillow, my mattress, like my pillow on my blanket, and yeah, I should probably do it without them. I'm not that intense, but pretty much like as you can see here, like like on the floor, you see how there's like a floor, and next to it there's like a bench, and there's like this like black padding, it's like mats that like to keep the bench on. Pretty much just put my pillow and my blanket down and sleep on the floor, because it makes me feel like less of a wuss, honestly. So yeah, I'm pretty much going insane. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do in regards to sleep. So nowadays, that's how I sleep. You might be like, yeah, it's pretty much impossible to survive that. It is, but the reason why I can is I go to university 3 days a week, okay? And it's usually the days when I don't sleep, the day where I have university afterwards. So it would happen to be like 3 a.m. On the days where I do sleep, I usually sleep at like 8 a.m. So I'm like, okay, it's worth it to go to sleep now and just sleep on the floor. So I don't feel like I was. But it's like say a day where I have university the next day, it's 3 a.m. I'm gonna have to wake up at 6 a.m. I'm just not gonna sleep, fuck it, I don't care. But the thing is, it's not like I'm not sleeping that day. I actually sleep like good 3-4 hours during the day, and it's because I have a 1 hour bus ride to university, okay, and then a 1 hour bus ride back. That's 2 hours already of sleep, which I sleep in. And then what else? And then when I get back home, I usually take like a 1 or 2 hour nap. So it's not really no sleep. I'm actually sleeping like 3-4 hours a day. But yeah, it's just like that's just what I do. So that is for sleep. So honestly, yeah, I think I might be going a bit mental, It's honestly insanity. I don't doubt that I'm quite stupid, honestly. This thing, my screen shut down because I haven't yet. I do agree it's quite stupid of me to do all this shit for literally. It's not like I think it's not nothing is guaranteed in the end. I could do all this shit and not get anything out of it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I could just be pretty much just decreasing my lifespan for no reason. But quite frankly, it's now not like, honestly, there are like, I have lots of goals to do with the money and shit like that, but honestly at this point the money, I'm like completely unfazed by this. Like just it's become kind of like an addiction, honestly. Like I can't imagine my life anymore, like, because honestly I thought like this week I haven't had much to do, and yeah, it drives me crazy to not have much to do. So like there was this like activity they were doing for university where you could go out, like go for paddle, like just play a game of paddle, like this activity was nearby. And so yeah, a friend of mine invited me, like a person I met in university, acquaintance really, not a friend at all. Just like we should go to this. Haven't played paddle before, now that I see it. He's like, yeah, we should just probably do this and just see if it's cool or not. And honestly, I won't. I was like, it's gonna be fun, but it's just honestly, I was like, I was like, oh no, I feel like I can't rest anymore. Like I will be able to inshallah in the future, like in 2 or 3 years time. But at this point, I just don't want to do anything that's fun. I just don't feel like resting anymore. I just want to. Oh no, it's fucking insane. So yeah, plus I also don't like doing things which I'm not good at in front of people. I like to get better first. So anyways, so that is currently my life. So currently the goals, honestly, even though it might seem like, and like from an outsider's perspective, that these past 9 months of me working on this company have gone to waste, in reality, the thing that this has brought me is the fact that once I get, right now my goal is just to get my first client as soon as possible. And once I get this, like, or my second client, because I got a client and I didn't get him results, so I just need to get this client. Okay, this is the first goal, to get a client on a no retainer, like for free. I'll do the work for him for free. He just has to pay for the ad spend, just like I did with the first guy. And then I need to get him good results. Now, for the first guy, I managed to achieve this already once before. The second part I couldn't. Now this time, I pretty much am going to hire a guy on Fiverr to just, because I don't have, quite frankly, the funds to hire him for a whole month of management out of pocket. So I'm basically going to hire a guy for 1 week of management and an action plan, so I can pretty much just keep going with what he was doing. That will increase my chances of success quite a bit. So right now his goal is, I need to get these 2 done as soon as possible, get my first, like, get my, like, another client, which is like for free retainer, and getting good results. Because once I get those 2 done, I can, like, I'm quite confident that once I get those 2 done, within the next 4 or 5 months, I could be making $10,000 a month. And this is because, like, I have like, these 7 months, I've had a lot of Zoom meetings and a lot of cold calls, like, which went positively with owners, where they were like, you know, would be willing to work with you. So I just need proof of concept, show me that you can do this, and I'm willing to even pay you. You know what I mean? And so, like, firstly, after I get my first client on a free retainer for that first month, and he doesn't pay me, and he gets good results, he'd want to work with me for a second month and pay me. And I have a few people who would want to work with me and pay me, and I'll just show them I can actually get results, good results, and prove them and make guarantees. And then, after I get to that $10,000 a month mark with my guaranteed results, and I have enough cash, I have, like, for example, this very big company, like, I don't think I'm saying, like, how big it is. I have actually 2 of them, 2 very big companies which I've called, like, very big, pretty much serve the entirety of the US. It's like just very big companies, 2 very big companies, like very, very big, who are willing to work with me, but it's pretty much more of a paper, like, lead base. So I get the leads with my own cash, and then they pay me for it, but the amount they pay is, like, very high. So those deals could literally make me, like, these 2 companies could alone make me 6 figures a month. You know what I mean? Like, that big. But I'd have to put in a lot of money for myself. So, like, once I have enough cash reserves, I'm just gonna start working with these guys, get them the stuff, they pay me, and then with the amount they're paying me after I get them the leads and stuff, I take that to get them even more leads, and I just keep spending that to get more, and I'll be able to make 6 figures a month revenue from them. But the profit margins are going to be much lower than usual. So, like, the profit margin would be like maybe 20%, 30%, but still that's going to be like 20 30k from each of them alone, because they're genuinely, like, these companies are very big, but I can't do anything with them at the moment due to the obvious fact that, yeah, it's not currently possible to do anything with them at the moment. So yeah, that is the current plan. That is currently what I'm doing. And so honestly, right now I shouldn't really be looking too far into the future. My goal is just to get this first client as soon as possible. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's been 25 minutes. I didn't expect to be talking for this long. I guess I just had a lot on my mind. As for personal goals, I quite frankly don't have any at the moment. I still work out, like, in terms of like the whole like basic improvement stuff which people talk about. I do still work out. I still work out, so it's pretty much not controlled anymore. So yeah, as for workouts, I have been working out for 3 years, even though I don't actually have a workout physique at all. Like, my physique is very average, but like it's alright, honestly. It's alright. Like, it's like, sure as I look alright, it's not like that bad. It's quite good, but it's nothing special at all. It's just that for the first year of working out, it's incredibly inconsistent, so I just don't even reward it. But that's kind of when I started working out. It was very inconsistent though. I've never got, like, I only went to the gym a few times with friends, but I've never actually, like, you know, worked out in the gym. I've always worked out at home. And then there was a year time after that first very inconsistent year where I went very serious, and that was 2 years ago. So during the time when I was like improving myself, I wasn't actually doing anything. I was just wasting time. During that time, I was actually doing a lot for workout and stuff. So I literally, because I was so fucking skinny, like, so skinny, and so I'd eat a shit ton, and I'd like have a whole diet plan, and I'd like wake up at 5 a.m. and eat rice and yogurt and chicken and shit, and just be so disgusting, honestly. But yeah, I just be eating a lot, and I bulked up, and I was working out during that time, like, consistently, and like for an hour or like an hour and a half sometimes, and I'd have a consistent workout plan, like chest, triceps, or like shoulders, whatever, like PPL or whatever it is. And so yeah, I had a consistent workout plan. I was doing shit, and I honestly, during that year I gained, I think, like 15 kilos. That's like 35 pounds for the Americans, I think. And pretty much, yeah, I just, during that year, and yeah, I worked out. I got decent enough physique. Then from there, for the past year, I still work out like every day, but it's only like 30 minutes to an hour per day. Like today I worked out for like 40 minutes. I just do the most random shit. So sometimes I just work out chest, triceps. I don't have a specific workout plan at all, and I just do random shit. So that is pretty much. Sometimes I do bicep curls, sometimes I do boxing, sometimes it's pretty much the most random shit ever. But yeah, I just work out on a daily basis. So I'm like currently not trying to bodybuild anymore. Like, I don't really work on my diet much. I just always eat good. I just don't have to work on my diet much, and I just don't particularly work out. I mean, sorry, I don't particularly like go for bodybuilding or anything like that anymore. So I haven't really had much of an like a physique improvement for some time. But just, I think it's gotten better naturally with the age. But it's not really been anything like workout significant where my actual like bicep has gotten particularly bigger. It's just similar. But yeah, I've increased my stamina quite a bit with like this kind of workouts which I'm doing nowadays. And also I've just become more functional, but not really working on bodybuilding anymore. I am planning on getting a more aesthetic physique, maybe in the future, in like 1 or 2 years time. I'll actually go to the gym and to work on an aesthetic physique for a year, and then I'll get back to functionality. But for now, honestly, I just do it, like, just work out just so I can move around. It's like a kind of a break from all the work, and that is pretty much it. So I said, company's goal, just get that client as soon as possible and get him good results. Personal goals, nothing. Honestly, just survive probably for the next year is my personal goals for 2025. I don't really have much personal goals, honestly. And financial goals, I also don't have much. Like, I had this goal, I wanted to make $20,000 by the end of this year. Honestly, for next year, I don't have a particular financial goal. Like, obviously, I do want to make a shit ton of money, but it's not really, honestly, just not currently like I don't have any specific goals money wise for 2025. I might develop one later, but it's not honestly my primary concern right now. The money I make, I just need to do as much work as I can. That's all that matters. And yeah, that's about it. I just have a lot of responsibilities nowadays. Yeah, just working on everything, pretty much doing my best. That's pretty much all I have to offer. So yeah, if you've watched through this whole thing, the whole 30 minutes, then I guess well done. I'm probably honestly a bum still for wasting 30 minutes. But if I didn't, I probably would have spent it just reading or doing some random shit, like learning a random skill. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this update on my life and myself. No one's probably watched till now. I have nothing else to say. I'm just trying to make the video. I don't know. Should I end it? I just don't want to stop recording, quite frankly. This is quite fun. Love you guys. Goodbye. See you. She's on a string diet, that's my baby. With no ring. She don't want